Hi everyone, this is Anna with scrappingstampingandstuff.com, and in this video I am going to show you some of the supplies that are really nice for card making and other paper crafting. I'm going to show you the ones that you have to be able to stamp and make handmade cards, and then I'm going to show you some that are nice to have, just some real basic supplies to help you get started. So the things that you have to make a handmade card are stamps, ink, and paper. And if you're going to do any paper cutting, you will need some type of adhesive as well. So I'm going to go through here and show you a few things about each one of these items, and hopefully it will help you learn a few things. So Stampin' Up! Has two different kinds of stamps. We have what's called photopolymer stamps, which are these that are clear, and we have cling mount stamps, which are red rubber. And both types of stamps you have to mount to some acrylic blocks. These have kind of replaced wood blocks on the market, and they're really nice for a lot of reasons. One, you can see exactly where you're stamping through the block. Two, they're less expensive. Three, they don't take up as much of space in your craft collection because they're thinner. But there's just a lot of reasons these are really nice. So photopolymer stamps come between layers of plastic. You can peel them off, stick them right on your block, and when you're done with it, stick it right back onto the plastic and put it back in your case. Now with our cling mount stamps, I'll show you when they come, they have a sheet of stickers or labels, and they come not labeled. I have labeled these too. So I want to show you how to label these, how easy it is. So I'm going to peel this one out. They're already punched. You just punch them out, and there's some paper backing on it that you will want to take off. You want to find the coordinating label on your sticker sheet. Peel off the paper backing from it and lay this directly on top. You want to get in the right spot. If you get in the wrong spot, it's going to be a little tricky to get off, but you just peel it off, and now this stamp has its label on the back. So I stick it right on there and it clings to my block. It is ready to stamp with it. So let's grab some paper. If you are starting out, I highly recommend our Whisper White thick cardstock. Our thick cardstock is really good to make card bases out of. It's really nice and thick. Your cards won't sag when you set them up to display them. It's just really good cardstock. So right now I'm bringing in one supply that would be optional, and this is our Stampin Trimmer. Our trimmer is really nice for a few reasons, and one of which is you can cut your paper and score it on the same trimmer. So I'll show this to you. This extends out. You can measure up to 17 inches with this, which is really nice. But I'll show you how to take a sheet of 8.5 by 11 cardstock and make 2 card bases with it. So first, we're going to do our scoring. Line this up at 4 1/4 inches. Close the arm. This is the scoring blade, the light colored one. Push and run that down. Gonna lift that up. You can see that that's nice, scored very nicely. Turn it horizontally, line it up at 5 1/2. And I'm not even gonna push the scoring blade out of the way because it won't do anything. But this darker blade, I'm gonna run up and cut these two apart. I now have 2 card bases all ready to use. So I'll keep one here. I'm going to bring in another optional supply. This is a bone folder, and you can fold and crease this by hand if you want. If you want something to help it lay a little bit flatter, the bone folder is really nice. You run it along there. It doesn't leave a mark. If you want to, you can run along both sides. Just helps give a nice crease. So now we have a card base prepared. I will mention envelopes. If you're going to be mailing these, you'll want some A2 size envelopes. We have envelopes that come in packs of 50, which are really nice ones. And now let's do a little stamping. So I'll show you a little bit about our ink pads. Stampin' Up! Ink pads are a little bit different than a lot of the ones you've probably seen before, and they're really nice. They lock shut. This is all one piece. Well, it's two pieces, but they fit together. They don't come apart. So you lift up, there's a little groove right here. You lift up here, it pops open. It is going to rotate all the way around until it's flat, and then you simply push it back and lock it in place. These are really nice for several reasons. One, when your toddler drops them on the floor, they don't pop open and get ink everywhere. I might know that from experience. Or when I drop them on the floor, they don't pop open and get ink everywhere. One of the really useful things is they're made so that the ink is always stored upside down. When you open it up, that ink is right on the surface where you need it to be, instead of sunk down in the bottom of your ink pad where it's not going to help you ink your stamp. So when you ink your stamp, you do not want to push. Our ink pads are very spongy, and if you push, you will have ink everywhere and you will be grumpy about it probably. So you set it on the surface and tap, tap, tap. You just move it around a couple of different spots. No pushing is involved. You can see that it's inked very nicely here. And put it on your card. Give it a good press. You don't have to squish it by any means. And look how beautiful that is. A perfectly stamped image. I didn't have to push very hard. And that's as easy as it is. Now, in some of my upcoming videos, I will actually show you how to make full cards. I'm not going to do that right now, but let me see what else I forgot to mention. Our blocks come in different sizes, so you can use them. Here's one that has a larger stamp on it. This was a smaller one that I just used. Here's a real small one. So that's kind of nice. If you have a small stamp, you may not want to use a giant block with it. So if you can get a couple of different size stamps, that's nice. I will show you how to clean your stamps. There are different ways to clean your stamps. You can use a wet paper towel. You can run them under the sink. You can use alcohol-free baby wipes if you like. This is my favorite tool that's really inexpensive. This is called a Stampin' Chamois, and this is damp right now. I just ran it under the sink and then squeezed out the excess water. As you can see, I've used it a lot. It was purple when it came. And this is ink that has collected and stained it, but it doesn't come back out of it. So I just press that on here one time and it already looks like it's clean. I usually press it a couple of times just to make sure, but this is the easiest and quickest way to clean your stamps. I also need to mention adhesives, and I will mention our snips. These are Stampin' Up! Snips, paper snips. These are perfect for little detailed cuts, for cutting ribbon. They're really nice and sharp, and I use these all the time. I use them for some other tips and tricks too, which you may see as we go through these videos. But I'll mention adhesives. This is my #1 go-to adhesive. This is #2. These tie for #2, I think. We have a couple other kinds, but these are the ones I really wanted to show you. This I call Snail. This is our Snail. It works like a whiteout correction roller. So you press the tip to your paper and pull back, and it will dispense tape on here, and you can then stick something right on top of it. This is our multi-purpose glue, which is fantastic. Some people, depending on the environment they live on, if it's real humid, some people don't have great luck with the Snail holding all of the things on their cards. So some people like to use this glue, and you can just use a little bit all over it, stick your paper on top, and this will hold forever and ever. This is great for ribbons, all sorts of things. It's very sticky. It holds very well. And I will mention these. These are called dimensionals. They're little foam pop-ups that are sticky on both sides. And you can put these on a card and put something behind it. And I should have brought something over, but imagine that this was something cute that you wanted on your card. Peel off the paper backing that's on the back there, stick it right on there, and it just makes it pop up a little bit. This will mean a little bit more in my future videos when I show you a real card. But I just wanted to kind of introduce you to all this stuff here. So those are the basic supplies. If this seems like a lot to think about, like, oh, I need blocks, I need stamps, I need all this, my next video, I'm going to show you some kits that are perfect because they come with everything included. So I hope you will stop back and watch that video, and please let me know if you have any questions. Feel free to go to my website for information as well, scrappingstampingandstuff.com. Thanks, everyone.